all of that beautiful new growth off does not hurt the tree, guys. Does not hurt the tree. You are training that tree to grow into the shape that is more convenient for you. Alright, so this is a Venus dingo. As you can see, it's growing beautifully up to the sky, which I don't want. I want it growing nice and wide and low because I want the fruit. Anybody like confused as to why this is an important practice, or do we all know why we do it?
I'm confused only because I think it's damaging.
No, pruning is not damage. You're not damaging yourself when you get a haircut. It's the same idea. So
it's more fruit if you cut it, right?
To a degree, yes, because if you never trim it, it will grow into a state of senescence and kind of not have much vigor. If you trim it, you're keeping that tree in like peak performance mode. Why we trim them is one, so that the growth doesn't get completely out of hand. If I didn't trim this year, it would be twice as much work to trim it next year, and I'd have to be way more drastic about it. I want to be able to pick the fruit right here instead of getting way up on the ladder.
Connor, what's the best time of year to cut a mango tree?
Great question. Best time of year to trim them is right after you pick the last fruit off of them. That is the ideal time, because after that last fruit is picked, they're going to explode into growth mode.
So if they haven't fruited yet?
If they haven't fruited yet, then anytime through the summer. Closer to the middle of summer you do your big haircut, the better, because it's going to have plenty of time to recover, regrow. I'm going to get in here and take, like, if y'all can see this limb right here, I got 2 branches going outward, and I got one right here that's kind of angled back toward the center of the tree. I'm taking that completely off. I want sunlight and airflow in the middle of my tree. And I want my lower branches, like this, to keep getting sunlight directly on them. Because if this gets shaded out, it's going to lose its energy and it'll just dry up and die. So I want to keep sunlight on these branches. The most vigorous part of the tree is at the top. That's what I want to be removing from the tree. And it's only the most vigorous because it's got the most uninhibited sunlight. Now Venus, if you see the angles of how the branches grow on here, they grow at a pretty nice vertical angle.
Oh, you have to.
So I've pruned this tree several times, and I'm having to still kind of be hard on it so that I can make those branches grow in the direction that I want.
Is it typical for them to not bear every year?
It's not like uncommon. As they get more mature, should be getting a regular crop. However, sometimes there are off years. For example, my honeykiss tree over there made like 60, 70 fruit last year. It has 6 on it this year. But I got my first good crop on my Super Alfonso tree this year. So that's why you plant multiple varieties, so that if one's a bad year for one tree, it might be a good year for another. Can everybody see this branch right here that I just trimmed?
Yeah.
Can y'all see how the top leaf here is angled outward from the tree? Every leaf has a bud right above it that can grow a new branch. And if I were to cut it here, I'm gonna get a branch that grows straight up or even toward the middle of the tree. If I cut it right here, my top most vigorous regrowth is gonna be going outward. And that is what I want. Sometimes people will even like tie a string on this and they'll weigh it down so that that branch hardens off at a nice low angle. And I honestly might have to do that with this Venus tree because it really wants to grow vertical. Can you see this branch right here?
Yeah.
You see how this, I have my trunk, I got my branch, and then this branch is growing backward toward the tree, toward the middle of the tree. I want to take that off, and I want to favor these ones that are going out. So I'm gonna take all of that beautiful new growth off, and it does not hurt the tree, guys. It does not hurt the tree.
I heard.
You are training that tree to grow into the shape that is more convenient for you.
Are you going to remove all the brown leaves that are new growth?
No, not necessarily.
Not if they're going out.
Yeah, like this is fine.
Okay.
But I'll probably take this and I'm gonna favor, look at that. So this is going that way, this is going this way. I want my branches to be growing outward like that. That's what's gonna happen as it regrows from here. this bud might wake up and grow too, and that might grow backward this way. So I'll go trim that off later if it does. So it's just a regular routine haircut, guys. It's not something that hurts your tree. It really isn't. And especially mango trees, they're tropical. They originate in India, where there's tropical storms and whatnot like all the time, or weather similar to ours. So every year there's going to be storms and stuff that will break branches off your tree, and they always recover most of the time. Now, what I would prefer to do is trim my tree right now, right at the beginning of hurricane season, keep it nice and stocky, keep the branches short and easy to maintain, because if the wind comes and it's pulling on this, it might have enough catch up here to actually split this whole branch off. So if I come in here and do a little bit of maintenance and I trim my branches like that, that's way less likely to get damaged by a storm.
Is this kind of like the ideal size of a mango tree, or do you want it bigger?
Well, this is a young tree, and it's going to ultimately get bigger. Like, it's going to get to a big size. It's a mango tree, like they get big, but it doesn't need to be a 40-foot, 50-foot monster like a lot of the old trees that you've seen around. If you keep up on maintenance like this, I'm not going to perpetually keep the tree this size. It's going to grow bigger, but I'm influencing the shape that it's growing in. I want a tree that's open in the center, that's nice and wide. It's gonna make plenty of fruit around the outer edges where I can reach it. And then next year when I have to come trim this again, it's not gonna be any harder than it is this year. This is relatively easy. This is your best friend. These are like 70 bucks. Totally worth it. They will last your lifetime if you take care of them.
Or where do you get them?
We have them here.
Oh, you sell them here?
Yep. So these, if you maintain them, they will be your best friend. And if anything gets too woody where you can't cut it with these, you'd be surprised how strong these are. A Sawzall is your second best friend. This is all I need, and then maybe sometimes just a small step ladder. This is all I need to take care of my tree pruning.